All right, so ready to rock and roll. This is Derek T with Cotton County Media Day. Our first team was Newnan High School basketball team, Coach Gas. I heard we started off with Coach Gas. First question I got from Gas and I pass the microphone is, what gonna make this team different than last year's team?
First off, thank you for setting us up and for having us here. It's a cool event for our guys. But I would say this year's team, we've got a lot of experienced seniors that are out there with us. We had 3 or 4 guys who won a lot of games with us last year. I think we're a little bit more athletic and a little deeper than we were last year. Had some great players on last year's team, but I think we can go 8, 9, 10 deep with this group, and pretty excited about that.
Okay, so this question is for Coach Gas. So what motivates this team to be exceptional this year?
I'd say a lot of it is kind of the success that we've had the last few years and the challenge to live up to that that's been set by people before them. And then I know just from the guys that we have up here, we have some who played quite a bit last year, some who are kind of getting on the stage for the first time this year. So I think we've got a lot of guys who kind of want to leave their mark and improve the Newnan basketball program for where they took it on from. And also this group here was my freshman group the first year I got here, so it's kind of putting together a full 4-year stretch with all the same guys. So I think that's part of it, just kind of what we've already done and where we can push forward. And I think there's some excitement too with the new region going into one of the best 6A regions in the state. I think just a lot of the newness to the season is exciting as well.
Y'all's expectation for the season?
I feel like our expectations is to go in and win our region and come out strong every game, have a winning mentality, build our run, and just finish the season out strong.
I feel like we all have the same goal, and that's make it back to state like we did a couple years ago, and just have fun and win, and that's what we do best.
I feel like if we all play together as a team, bond together, know each other's roles, then I know we can go back to state and win something.
Really just to build up our past success and get back to state.
I'll go. Hey guys, last year the Eastern Media game at your place was one of the most exciting environments I've ever been in. What does the crowd, when you're playing, what does the crowd do for you guys? Do you sense it? Do you feel it? Do you feed off of it? Talk to us about how the crowd can be better at helping you guys be better.
The crowd brings a lot of energy out of us. Like,
So you can hear it when it's getting loud.
you can barely hear anything on the court. Like we running plays, like you can't hear the plays. Like,
I'll probably say, yeah, he brings a lot of energy and it basically like hypes us up a little bit, make us play harder so we can win for them.
Do you see difference in their eyes in the team you're playing? How do they look too? Part of the question I should have asked. I'm sorry.
Depends like if we go or not, then you can tell like, in their eyes, like they're a little scared a little bit.
I feel like when, like last year, that game, everybody on our team fed off of that energy, and some people from the other team, like EC, they'll feed off of it a little bit, but it wouldn't be the same because we're playing at our place, like that's our fans, stuff like that. So I feel like we play better whenever a lot of people is on our side.
I feel like you can definitely feel the energy from the crowd. I mean, it gets the team motivated, and like when you hit big shots or miss layups, time, like the energy sometimes can bring you up, bring you down. So I like it.
this is for the players. So what do you guys do to calm the nerves or the anxiety that you guys have before a game?
Listen to music and just go chill and relax my mind and think about winning the game and focusing on what I gotta do to help the team win for the night.
I'll say I listen to music, but then also like I just be hype around my teammates, jump around, have fun, because that's how I am. I just get calm, like take my mind not off the game, but not think too much about it, let the game come to me.
I'd probably say, yeah, listen to music is one of the big things, but probably like just focusing on the game, make sure I do my role, and make sure I'm boxing out doing things I need to do to win the game.
I would say the same thing. Listen to music, like getting my head in the right state of mind, and just thinking about positive things I can do to help the outcome of the game. Now that goes away. The adrenaline gets to pumping. You just gotta play.
What, just for the coach, what do you think is going to be y'all's biggest challenge this year?
Yeah, that is a good question. I would say probably the region opponents that we have. Everything's brand new. A lot of our guys haven't seen them play much yet. And we'll see it, we'll scout it and all that. It's just different until you actually play there. We're going to play in 5 or 6 new gyms this year. So I'd say probably the biggest challenge is just the schedule itself. But the good thing is that experience kind of makes you better. So as we go through the year, I think that challenge will kind of actually help us get better while also being our biggest challenge. But I'd say the strength of our schedule and the opponents we'll face.
Time like or activity outside of basketball that you guys have done together that you enjoyed the most? So what activity outside of basketball that you guys have enjoyed doing together as a team?
Like team bonding, we went bowling against all those other schools. Like it was fun and competitive. Like everybody had fun out of it, like enjoy it.
Who's the best bowler?
Me.
I'll probably say we went to Operation Gap. That's probably the fun thing is everything about the community too at the same. We're having fun myself.
I'll say probably the bowling, or like it's part of basketball, but it'll be daily like after practice, but we'll just sit in the locker room and just joke around and just have fun. So that's good. That have positive energy within the whole team.
I'll probably say the bowling experience too. It was a good team learning moment and competitive at the same time, but it was all fun and jokes and stuff.
Don's probably the most often trash talker. Trey Sinkfield talks quite a bit too. I guess it just kind of depends on the day who's really getting going. Yeah.
Last year is a great example of me being the best trash talker because I remember one game in particular where me and the other team and their coach were going back and forth the whole game. And it's just like a competitive thing. Like I don't like losing, and I don't like anybody else outdoing me. It's something that I work hard for, so I just feel like I let it happen too much sometimes, but I am the best trash talker on the team.
Okay, fans on the line, and there's 5 seconds left. Who's the coach that for ball to the line?
Donovan Ackles,
Wow.
because if I catch it right, it's going in. I can catch it wrong and it's still going in. So, yeah, but if I'm not in the game, I feel like we should just call a law. Are we down 2 or 3? That's a great question. We're down by 2. Give the ball to Jacob or Darius T. and hope for the best. But if we're down by 3 and Donovan Ackles or Darius Zachary ain't in the game, then I don't know what to tell you. Just throw it at the rim.
If you're up,
I say this with all due respect. I love Trayvon Seafield with all my heart. That's my brother. Oh, in this group, probably Justin. Probably Justin. He did not me, not like. But I don't know. I feel like we'll all be good if we're down by one.
Yeah, I know we saw a lot of Justin and Darius Teagle last year. I think at times we'll see a lot more of Donovan and Zachary here, especially against certain matchups. They're guys that can score a lot in a short period of time. Then we've got a few new guys with us. We've got Jaden Morrison, who's a sophomore this year. We've got some varsity experience last year, but he's already been double-digit scorer in 2 games as a 15-year-old sophomore. So I think we'll see more and more of him as the year goes on. We've got Braylon Jackson, who's new to us as a point guard this year, who I think will go on to play at the college level after us, so we'll see his name a lot. And then couldn't make it today, but Jamarian Glenn is another kid that we'll definitely see a lot of. He fills the stat sheet in a lot of different ways. So we've got a pretty good group of guys that people might not recognize from last year that really catch as the season goes on.
For the team, what are your goals after basketball or after you graduate for the seniors?
To play college basketball. I feel like that's what we always say is play in the bigger league. So we all play college. So.
Just to go to college somewhere and make a statement.
Go to college and pursue my football career.
I'm going to college majoring in business and technology.
My major is sports and medicine.
I kind of got 3. I got business, criminal justice, or sports management.
Real estate and cybersecurity.
Does Coach Jackson ever get really mad? What does Coach Jackson do when he gets really mad?
Just like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I ain't gonna front my opinion, say no names, but somebody did something, they got a technical foul. But yeah, Coach Gatch, man, he gets mad, it gets real, I wouldn't say scary, but it put a little fear in your heart, because he's real passionate, like he wants to win more than us sometimes, so when he gets mad, like, he won't do stuff right, he'll charge up, he'll break the marker, he'll slap the board, he'll do whatever he gotta do so he know we feel him, if that makes sense.
You started Coach Cats 4 years ago, and you guys seen little baby Asher grow up. What's so special about little Asher at basketball games? Little baby Asher.
It gives us an extra reason to win, even go harder.
I'd probably say just seeing them in the games and just fighting us a little bit. Because we don't really see them a lot, but when we do, it gives us a little boost.
For me, I don't know about them, but every time I see him, I get like happy because he's just such a joyful little kid sometimes, maybe not crying, but it like boosts all of us up because we know he's gonna be playing in the same jersey, putting on the same name that we do every night when we play. So it's just like we want to leave a good
example?
Yeah, good role model for him for when he gets older.
Yeah, I feel like he definitely motivates us and makes all of us happy and want to play better. So we can go home and Coach Gas can be happy and deal with it.
This is a question for Coach. Who on the team, like as a player, do you think motivates you as a coach the most?
It just kind of depends on the situation, I guess. There's a lot of things, even just from the four guys up here, that kind of represent us or what we're trying to do as a coach or a program really well. I mean, the toughness we have between the four guys up here, how hard they play, how hard they practice. I would say that kind of represents us and what we do. If you watch Justin and Darius go at it every day in practice, I mean, it kind of makes you proud as a coach of just how competitive we are. And I'd say if you come to a practice, you'll see it's not a whole lot different from a game. I think that's kind of why we're prepared to play on game day, because these guys have bought into that for 2, 3, 4 years. So I don't know that I could single out just one person, but at different times there's definitely different things to be proud about from each guy. We have a lot of positive impacts from a lot of different people.
I want to ask this one, explain the Central experience, what you guys learned from that. The Central High School throwback experience, and what you guys learned from that.
It taught us a lot about our history and like the people that came before us and how talented they were as a group.
Yeah, I say he taught us a lot of history about people that we never saw play before, and just seeing just to hear what they went through, playing in gym and different things and stuff.
And right before Don goes, I'll add, I thought it was awesome seeing how much the gym, the team, the teammates, the city mattered to those guys 30, 40, 50 years later. So it made me kind of think, hopefully these guys will have an experience similar to that, and they'll all come back in 10, 20, 30 years and share stories and have a lot of pride in what they did and achieved as well. But just kind of the history side of it, giving the background, giving a story that's probably not told as much as it should be. That's what really stood out to me personally.
I like the event and hearing about our history and seeing some family, cousins and stuff, and seeing how their team was and the stuff they had to go through to play basketball and stuff. And it was a good little experience and just made me think about the legacy on the league and how we go off and come back and how I'm be able to talk and tell people how my story was and stuff down here.
This is the last question. You guys experienced COVID here, so you didn't have a full year that year. The tornado year, you didn't have a full year. And of course, you don't have a good year, not a good year, not a typical year this year with parking. What has been like the biggest challenge the last 4 years as a student in the high school? Was it the COVID, was it tornado, or was it a combination of both for all the students?
I would say it was a combination of both, but you can't make excuses. You gotta keep going and fight through all that.
Yeah, I'll say both. It was a very difficult seeing, especially the COVID situation and the tornado. But I did like how the community came back together for both of them. And we all came together as a team and helped the community out with our sport and basketball team sport. And we had fun with it too, talking to people how different things, how they went through it, all that type of stuff. So.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say from the coaching side, probably the COVID pandemic was a little more challenging just because the day-to-day changes. We had games canceled 4 hours before they were scheduled to start. Trying to map out, keeping the guys out of the locker room, but still building team chemistry and all those things that we would normally do. And the spacing, the transportation, all that. So that was a major challenge, but props to these guys and the guys in our program for going through it. I think, to me, it kind of showed how much this means to our kids, because there was a lot of negativity in both those events. But to be honest with you, we really never had any student athletes that complained about any of it. I mean, we joked about it plenty, we dealt with it, but there was never a whole lot of frustration on their part. As far as the tornado aspect, it's been a challenge because you never know where you're going to go to practice, you're getting moved around, we have to transport to practice every day. We've had days where we were practicing in the construction zone where it's 45 degrees in the gym. But it kind of is an awesome lasting memory to see that these guys just kind of do whatever they need to do and don't make excuses about it and get better every day, which feels really good as a coaching staff because that's what we preach, and then we kind of had to live our way through that. And then the one thing I regret is, like you said, these guys won't get to experience the brand new gym from the playing aspect, but I still think it'd be cool for them to come back and see it next year and in years down the road and know that they kind of were the transition group to help us get to that point.
I would just say probably, I mean, the tornado year was bad just because like they came and messed up our whole school. So, but the COVID year was real bad just because like it shut everything down to the point where we just had to stay in the house. And as a student, that's kind of hard because like me personally, I'm like real lazy and I don't really like working if I'm at home. So it was just kind of hard staying on schoolwork. But even with the tornado, it was more like sad than it was like hard just because like I was at that school for 3 years before that and half of it was being torn down just from a natural disaster. So just seeing everybody in the community and the school just come together, help pick things up, help people's houses, like, all that. It was just a good sign.
I would probably say the tornado and COVID year, mainly because sometimes in COVID, like I had COVID, so I missed a couple games, and probably like my parents still worried about me playing basketball, getting sick, bringing back them. So like it was just all about staying healthy and transportation and just being strong.